June 23rd, 2014. Guys, this is an update. The earthquake and the tsunami situation. They downgraded it as they normally do to a 7.9. Still, we have tsunami advisories out. These blinking lights indicate movement. I paused it here to show you that they're in deep water. Notice off the Japan coast to the left, they're in the deeper blue edges, and that is all across under the Aleutian Islands. We don't see buoys blinking yet on the west coast of the U.S. and Canada. Notice that. And what we're seeing here is an indication of less than a meter height movement in these offshore buoys. But the first movement was a downdraft. In other words, the buoys dropped in elevation before they rose on these indicators. Now, what will be important to watch, and we're going to keep an eye on it, is this moves into shallower water on both coasts. Notice they're blinking again off in the deep water. Notice to the right, that's as far as it goes east towards the U.S. coast. Again, your water column height, if you'll check these, you can click on them. You'll notice most of them less than a meter in height. You can move right across it through any of them and click on it. Also, if you notice south all the way to the Sumatran Trench from the 3 6.0 quakes that happened in New Zealand as 2 CMEs hit us today, and I'll show you those. This is the data on what we're looking at. But notice right there, the first indicator was a drop in height. Just like when a tsunami is coming up to shore, they'll see the ocean go way out, guys. So there was a drop in height. Something amazing that happened with the proton charts on the ACE satellite. They dropped negative as the CMEs were coming in. I'll show you that. It's amazing. I've never seen that happen before. It had me concerned, and I recorded them earlier. But what's even more concerning, and I knew something was wrong, is they are not showing these CMEs on our CME trackers. Not on Solar Ham and not on the NOAA site, guys. They've been downplaying these for quite a few days. These two that spiraled out like a corkscrew that came at us were too powerful. But this shows you, and you can pause this, where the advisories and watches are. They're from Unalaska to Nikolsky, Alaska. It says, if you're located in the coastal area, move out of the beach and out of the harbors and marinas. It says, tsunami advisories mean a tsunami capable of producing strong currents or waves dangerous to persons in or very near the water is expected or is already occurring. Areas in their advisory should not expect widespread inundation. So now, what they're saying is it's not going to be super strong, but in the marinas, in the harbors, that's what I'm talking about. We've seen this in the past. Heavy damage from Alaska to California, guys, with just a 5 or 6 foot increase. All the boats tied up and all. But this is nothing to play with, and we have to be concerned about aftershocks. Always aftershocks. Now, this is when we saw the impact, notice, just after 2200 hours on this chart. But notice everything was going down, and look at this spike earlier today as I recorded it. When I saw this spike and I went back and looked at the CMEs that came off the sun and this one, I knew the CME trackers were being downplayed, guys. I knew it. Now, you know, on this particular magnetopause, always put that superimposed arrow at 12. That's the average. Now, it's a little behind that. Then at 1220, this is when the quake started all the way down into New Zealand, the big ones. 1225, look how it bent into the magnetopause, then bent back negative. Look how far negative we are. Now look on this chart. That told me something was wrong with the protons right there. They went negative. I've never seen that. But guys, before we had these quakes, it reminded me of the beaches and when the water goes all the way out before tsunami. Because I don't see that on this chart very often go that far negative. That's the things that's been going on for 2 days. And they won't put these on the CME tracker. I'm very disappointed. If this quake had been in a heavily populated area, they could have saved a lot of our lives by giving us that information. They do not want us to know all the things that are coming upon this earth. But you saw, and I'll show you those 2 CMEs. Here we're coming up on the second event that got us in Alaska. Check this out. See the pressure still negative, pulling backwards, not forwards, Check that out. Starts to build up. Check now. Watch. Still negative. Back 12. That started telling me, look at this. Starts to come in at 22.32. Then bam, it bends from the top and the bottom, burns out the back, and pulls all the way out. Now, the air is still there. Just excuse that. I did this quick. These are the two CMEs that caused it. Both came out. Very strange. You don't see that corkscrew motion. Both that one turned and the one in the bottom. We'll let it play back through. This one, the filament touched the solar sunspot, came out. You just don't see that. Those are magnetic lines of force that were focused right at the Earth. The one at the top, slightly above us, it spun just like that. Then we saw everything go negative. Very unusual day. We've got to watch for aftershocks, guys. Heads up. Be safe.